Now we'll zoom in to country and city-specific cases. We will first hear from the city of Baguio in the Philippines about its advocacy on youth-driven actions towards creating safe and sound cities. Presenting on behalf of the Honorable City Mayor Benjamin Magalong is Donna Tabangin. She is a licensed architect and environmental planner with 23 years of experience. She finished with a bachelor's degree in architecture and a master's degree in urban and regional planning. She has acquired advanced professional certifications in geographic information systems, disaster risk management, and climate change management. She joined public service last July 2020 as the Baguio City Planning and Development Coordinator. She currently leads the formulation of city development plans, comprehensive land use plans, project development and monitoring, urban master planning, and creative design. Architect Donna, please turn on your microphone and video feed. You may now also start sharing your screen.
Thank you. I hope you can see my screen and you can hear me clear.
Yes, we can see your screen and we can hear you clearly po.
Great. Thank you. So good morning and good afternoon to everyone. It is a pleasure and a privilege to be presenting before this body what we have in store for the youth in Baguio City, Philippines. So the S²Cities project, or the Safe and Sound City project for Baguio City, is about to commence this year. And we hope that by the end of this year, we would be able to incorporate and integrate into the city systems as well as decision-making systems of the city, the youth, because they are an important part of our development. Besides, we plan for them. It is their world that we are planning for. Therefore, they should be part and parcel of the decision-making. So just a short background of what is Baguio City, where it is. We are a landlocked city in the northern island of Luzon in the Philippines. We have a population of 366,358. We have a density of 6,000 people per square kilometer. It is a small land area and we are a highly urbanized city. We have multiple roles. We are the summer capital of the Philippines because we are located up in the mountains. So we are 2 degrees Celsius cooler than the rest of the Philippines. We are also a center of education in the northern Luzon area, and that's the reason why we have a lot of young people in our city. We are also considered a center of tourism. We are sometimes called the city of pines because of our 2 degree lower temperature. We have mountain ecology in the city, so we have a lot of pine trees. So this makes us a destination. That means that a lot of people would like to come up to Baguio, most especially during summer and during holidays. This is a snapshot of the number of people that are in the city. So we have what we call the nighttime as well as the daytime population, because in the nighttime population are those who really stay and reside in the city, and that's 366,358. But by daytime, we double our numbers because we are the only highly urbanized city in our region, and a lot of employees coming from the adjacent municipalities come up to Baguio also to work or to come up to the city to study. And then we also have tourist arrivals which quadruple our numbers. So we sometimes reach 1 million plus, especially during holidays and Christmas season. As to the youth, for 2020, we have a population of 73,988. These are for those who have within the age range of 15 to 30. So these are the youth who are in school as well as the young professionals in the city. And they are 20.37% of our population. So that means that they comprise of a good chunk of the population makeup of the city. Now, for the challenge, and this is where we would like to engage the youth, because as I said earlier, this is the future their future that we are planning for. And in 2019, there was a study that was conducted, and this was on the carrying capacity, the urban carrying capacity of the city. And of course, the goal or the challenge is we should be able to reach that state where we are living within carrying capacity. When we say carrying capacity, that is the ratio of the number of people who make use of natural resources. So that means that there should be just enough number of people living in a city depending on the natural resources that are present there. And as you can see from this graph as well as the photograph of the city here, we have several challenges wherein we discovered in this study that we have actually exceeded our threshold values. So when it comes to our urban road area, there is a standard of 40 square meters per person. And in 1988, we have breached this already. That's why we are experiencing traffic. For solid waste collection, we are also exceeding the minimum requirement in terms of metric tons per person per year. And in 1994, we have exceeded this already. It applies to water supply, liquid waste treatment, open spaces, land for development, forest cover, and green cover. You can see that for this year, we are actually putting into place a lot of solutions to make sure that we do not continue exceeding these threshold values, and we start putting in solutions already. Sometimes these solutions might be it is required that this solution should be creative already, because of course maybe traditional solutions might not work already, so we need fresh minds that will come from the youth of the city. Another challenge on top of our carrying capacity issues, we also have to make sure that we are planning for the mitigation and as well as our adaptation on climate change impacts. You can see here the projections when it comes to rainfall, and by 2020 as well as towards 2050, there will be an increase in the volume of rainfall in the city. And then when it comes to temperature projections, we also are steadily increasing. So I mentioned that we are cooler than the rest of the Philippines, but we are getting warmer already. On the right side of your screen, you can see there a map which has analyzed the temperature around the city. This is what we call the urban heat island effect. The red areas there, you will see that these are of higher temperature already. And the red area in the center is actually our central business district. So it is hotter within the center, and then it gets cooler around towards the borders of the city. But this shouldn't be the case. So what we did was we formulated what we call our SDGG plus I development framework. This means sustainable development, good governance, and innovation for future generations. Emphasis on future generations. That's you, the youth. So we are going to follow 4 major steps when it comes to our SDGG plus I framework, starting with where we are now. And I presented to you our carrying capacity problem as well as our climate change issues. We have to understand this context of where development will take off from in the city. That's where we are, step 1. For step 2, we will follow a foundation of good governance. And when we say good governance, that means decision making for all. Whether you are male, female, young, or old, you should become a part of the decision making for the future of the city. Our third step is that when we develop our short, medium, and long-term goals, we have plans for the medium, for the long, and for the short term. We have to incorporate their innovation already. As I mentioned earlier, these extraordinary problems that we are encountering in the city would require extraordinary solutions. Therefore, by way of creativity and innovation. And only when we follow 1, 2, 3 steps, then we would be able to reach our future. That's step number 4, and that's towards sustainability. And of course, we define sustainability where people, planet, and prosperity coexist. And we also have several plans that are actually put into place and are being implemented this year. We have what we call the Local Youth and Development Plan. And you can see that we implement programs and projects towards 8 aspects where the youth can also improve themselves. So that's where number 1 would be on health, second would be economic empowerment, Third is on education. Fourth would be social inclusion and equity. Fifth would be peace building and security. Sixth on governance. Seventh on active citizenship, and eighth on mobility. So that means that there are several projects that are put into place and being implemented so that we attain the overall holistic development of youth in the city. We also have what we call the public order and public safety plan of the city. And of course, we also put into place PPAs, or programs, projects, and activities that are towards youth urban safety and security. And that's towards safe public transport and road traffic, the protection of the youth from natural and human-made disaster, their safe and accessible public spaces that are available around the city, as well as their protection from violent and non-violent crimes. We also have Baguio City's Youth Development, Well-being, and Urban Safety programs for this year. And these are the three major verticals where we are implementing projects also. First would be on farming and marketing through experiential learning, where we teach them, we capacitate the youth on vertical gardening, green buffer zones, especially in schools, because that's where they are for most of the time. We also host forums on youth patriotism and nation building. We believe that the love of our city and our country, of course, is very influential when it comes to nation building. The second vertical would be on youth for climate change. We involve them already on climate change plans and decision making. And for now, we have started with IEC on the issues and concerns of the youth. We engage them through different workshops, and we listen to what they have to say when it comes to climate change issues also. We also hosted a green business exposition where new ideas and new products as well as services coming from the youth as well as um, the other members of our population are showing off, so to speak, their developments also. We are also implementing youth volunteerism as well as youth wellness. For our library, the city library has this project on a book pantry where they conduct literacy through storytelling sessions. And we are currently building a facility. This is going to be the largest facility that's specifically intended for youth. We call it the Youth Convergence Center and Innovation Hub. So what we have planned here is we'll provide spaces where the youth of the city can come together, get into sports, as well as we provide incubation support so that they would become the next generation of MSMEs, or entrepreneurs in the city. For the Safe and Sound Cities project, or the S²Cities project in Baguio, this is our theory of change. That means that we have to get into four very special steps so that at the end of this project, we would be able to make sure that there is going to be sustainability and the inclusion of youth in all city processes as well as decision making already. The first step from your left is, of course, the unfreezing step. That means that the local government will conduct a lot of youth engagement activities, start a conversation, because as of this moment, the youth are not totally part of the city processes yet, even more with decision making. And through these youth engagements, we're going to show them what I have shown you right now, what are the challenges that are present in the city, because this is the starting point for us to be able to show them, to present to them that ours is a very complex problem. And that means that we have to understand the city as a system, and the youth are part of this system also. Next step is to catalyze them. That means that we will have to engage them when it comes to innovation and design thinking. So we will be conducting capacity building activities and bridge building, so that the youth will understand that government understands and would like them to become part of the city system also. The third step is on internalizing what has been learned from the first two steps, and that means that they're ready to get into youth-driven action. So what we expect here is that they would be able to develop solutions to the challenges that we have in the city, and what the government will do is we will integrate these solutions to all the planning and projects that are being prepared on a yearly basis for the city. And of course, what we are hoping for is these solutions would be innovative as well as creative. And with that, the last step is for us to institutionalize. That means that by the end of this project and towards the future already, we would have institutionalized that youth are already co-designers and co-planners of this entire urban space that we have in the city. These physical spaces should be designed for them. Therefore, it is important that they are part of the planning sessions as well as the budgeting sessions as well. And with that, we hope that by putting this into place, we would have youth already in the city who are part and parcel of the decision making when it comes to development and the future of the city. Theirs is this future. Therefore, they should be able to make sure that their plans, their hopes, and their dreams are part of this development. Let me end with this adage that we shall continuously emphasize youth-driven actions and collaborative partnerships. This is what the city will do. And the local government will find a common ground so that we can work together towards safe and inclusive spaces. This is the goal, that this city would become safe and it would become inclusive, whatever gender, whatever age. And they will be empowered, the youth will be empowered to participate in meaningful ways because theirs is the future. And the city would be their place to live for a better life. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Architect Donna. What I found admirable was the multifaceted and holistic approach Baguio is taking towards engaging the youth sector. It's also encouraging to see that the city is taking steps towards making the youth part of governance and decision making, and not just being beneficiaries or recipients of programs and projects. Again, thank you so much, Architect. If our audience has any questions or comments, please feel free to put them in the chat box. Our speakers, we request you to browse through the chat box every now and then. There are some interesting conversations going on there.
Thank you.
Thank you po. Now heading on over to an example from Bandung City in Indonesia. We will now have a presentation from Dheamyra Aysha Ihsanti, one of the project implementers under the Safe and Sound Cities or S²Cities program. Dea is a final year undergraduate urban planning student, and she has an interest in urban infrastructure development toward sustainable development. In fact, she was an intern at the Indonesia Institute for Transportation and Development Policy. She is also a UN SDSN Youth Local Pathway and Student International Global Youth Action Ambassador. Dea, please turn on your microphone and your video feed. You may also start sharing your screen.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Hello, everyone. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, can you guys see my screen already?
Yep, it's clear.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Dea. I'm part of the youth group from Bandung, who is chosen as the Safe and Sound City project implementer by World Resource Institute Indonesia. And our projects is about placemaking of parks under one of the flyover in Bandung City called Pasupati Flyover at Taman Sari District in Bandung City. And I am actually part of a team. So we are university students, all from Bandung Institute of Technology from different disciplines that has been chosen as the S²Cities project implementer. Our team consists of civil engineering, urban regional planning, and engineering management major. We also receive some help from other youths from our university who have the same vision as us to help with our project. We all have the same belief that youth participation is important in achieving the SDGs because we are the future generations of leaders, policymakers, and change makers. We are the ones who have spirits and fresh new ideas that could help our community in overcoming current and future challenges. And to get to the local context, we have focusing on Bandung SDGs issues, which is the number 11, which is sustainable cities and communities. That we have three main challenges. The first one is utilizing non-green open space function, where the issues are Pasupati flyover creates lost space under it. The space can be utilized for public use, and currently it's a non-green open space. And also, based on the regulation of the Public Works Ministerial Regulation number 12 year 2019, 2009, non-green space has social cultural function, which is space for public social cultural activity in city region, space for expressing local culture, space for public community, space for sports and recreation, and space for education and research. And also the next challenge is youth needs inclusive public spaces. 51% of Bandung's population is Gen Z and millennials. That means it's dominated by youth in a productive age. And youth has different values, understandings, needs, and cultures. Differences that should be supported and valued as significant contributions to the social capital of cities and town. And also, based on the regional medium-term development plan of Bandung City, it mentions that Bandung City has a mission that will provide youth creativity hub in every region and youth spaces in every district. And the next challenge is there's under-maintained public spaces. The parks under Pasupati flyover has potential, but unfortunately, the facilities are under-maintained. And also due to the pandemic, the park visitors are lower. So the key questions for our project is how to utilize the lost space under the flyover as a youth community space. The Taman Film or Film Park's current state is that is underutilized. The park video turns now broken. Everyone puts dishes anywhere they want that made the synthetic grass broken. And also the facilities like toilet and the mosque can't be used. While Bawat futsal field is no longer used as a futsal or soccer field, now it's used by the locals who doesn't have a garage to park their own private car. And we see that both space has a big room for improvement in becoming a good quality public space for all to enjoy. And our vision of the place is through solving functional issue and creating touch points for community, we believe that these spaces can become quality spaces. And this is our future design of Taman Film or Film Park and the Bawat Futsal Field. And what we do is our vision is to create sustainable public space through community building with the placemaking methods. Our vision is to create Taman Film and Bawat Field as a public space where people have a sense of place. And our aim is for people to feel safe, comfortable, actively participate in the activities and sociable at the space. And we hope that the community outcomes is the community have a sense of belonging towards the place that will lead them to have stewardship and collectively look after the public space. And we also have calculated the social benefit cost ratio of the project, which is 1.6. And there are many other benefits too, which is increased neighborhood livability through creating opportunities for people to relax and enjoy themselves at the park, increased safety in the area, and increased cultural and social activities. So this is the review of our concept that we use called placemaking, which is the main concept for our project. That have four aspects to create a great public space. The first one is access and linkage. It's judged by the connection to its surrounding, including the visual links. A great public space is easy to get to, easy to enter, and easy to navigate. And the next aspect is comfort and image. A space that is comfortable and looks inviting is likely to be successful. A sense of comfort includes perceptions about safety, cleanliness, and the availability of places to sit. The next one is uses and activities. A range of activities are the fundamental building blocks of a great place. Having something to do gives people a reason to come and return to a place. And the last one is social ability. When a place becomes a favorite spot for people to meet friends, greet their neighbors, and feel comfortable interacting with strangers, then you are well on your way to having a great place. So how do the placemaking concepts are done? So we use participatory planning methods such as group discussion, questionnaire, and informal discussions to engage with the public. We have successfully held the group discussion with multiple stakeholders, and the public actively participate in delivering their needs in a public space and their expectations toward their area. And also the questionnaire, we share the questionnaire to the local neighborhoods and the visitors of Film Park, where they can convey their judgments and expectations towards Film Park and Lapangan Bawat. We are going to do more participatory planning activities such as round robin, interactive installation, etc. And improving the quality of Taman film based on the concept of placemaking and the data collecting process. In improving the quality of Taman film to become more inclusive, safe, and comfortable, we upgrade a few facilities. As you can see, the first one is redesign the fences that's more open and welcoming from the road without losing the safety aspect. We made a thorough lighting to increase night safety in the park, and also more presentable shoe rack that will drive the visitors of Taman Film to put their shoes tidily in the shoe rack. And this will increase safety and comfort of the place. And for the futsal field Bawat, this is our future design. We built the futsal field, which is also can be multifunction as a volleyball and a badminton field. And we also add some ping pong tables and benches for the public to enjoy. Other than renovating the infrastructure and design, we also going to hold series of events to reactivate the park and the futsal field. The examples of the events that we are going to hold is a community service. We also collaborating with community service organization at campuses and regional level. And then we're also gonna hold film festival. So we could invite filmmakers, communities at Bandung. And also intimate concert, where Taman Film as a place for local artists or musicians to hold intimate concert that has been a trend in the past year in Indonesia. And also for the futsal field, we're gonna hold event like morning exercises with the locals, such as aerobics or Zumba or maybe yoga. And then since the children's in Tamansar district love to play soccer, we are going to hold a coaching clinic where we could invite a soccer institution, a coach from a soccer institution or school to teach the children. And also Tamansari Open, which is a tournament filled with futsal competition, badminton competition, and volleyball competition that will involve the local neighborhoods to play. And one of the big launching programs called Sarjana Bandung. Sarjana means as far as the eyes can see, and it's where we promote awareness of the importance reaching the sustainable cities goals. Sarjana Bandung will be held at Taman Film in the next 1.5 months in May. And the main purpose of the event is to raise awareness and educate local youth regarding the importance of sustainable public spaces. And participants will learn through a fun group activity such as public transport, city tour, and individually through a talk show and discussion session. And there will also be installations to gather people opinions spread through the event locations, and that's the future speakers and the event guide of public transport tour, talk show, and discussion, and also interactive installations. Okay, and that is all from me. Let's discuss more in the open forum. Thank you. And for inquiries, you can contact me through the email and the WhatsApp, as you can see in the screen. Thank you.
Thank you, Dia, for that presentation. My takeaway really is that you did all these plans almost by yourself, by your entire group, right? And you've demonstrated that the youth really do have the capacity to make change. You have that energy, you have that innovativeness in you. Just imagine if our local leaders, they can capitalize on your thoughts, your energy, and they can incentivize you and help you realize your vision to solve urban problems and then support you in actually creating the solutions towards these problems. I'm sure if that happens, the youth will be more than willing to lend their energies towards local sustainable development.